Hey, it's Rick again, back at you for another little educational session. You know the program you watch at 7 o'clock about the rehab where it starts at 7 o'clock, by 7:30 they're done, everything goes well, and they're walking out with 100 grand? That's not, they call it reality TV. It's not reality. Okay, I'm not saying it couldn't happen, but it very often does not happen. And sometimes you learn from your mistakes, and here's one of them. So let's talk about 51 Buttercup in Willingboro. Number of months ago, I got a call from one of my letters. I send out what's called yellow letters, direct marketing. Gentleman in Oregon had a property where the tenant was there for 35 years, was paying $760 a month, which is half of the going rent. The place was a wreck, and he just wanted out. Same tenant, 35 years. I said to him, by the way, always let them start the negotiation, because they might say a price to you will be less than you're willing to pay. So I said to him, his name was Russ, I said, Russ, tell me, what would be the lowest cash offer that you would be willing to accept on this property? And he told me, would you pay me $30,000? And I said, yes, without even looking at the property, because the land is worth $30,000. The tenant, shall we say, was difficult, somewhat belligerent, but she allowed me to, now I heard he purchased the property. She allowed me to go in there with my general contractor to get an idea of what it would cost for the rehab. So we went through the property, and again, I already purchased the property. So my purchase was not contingent upon his estimate. We walk out of the property, and I put him on the spot. And I said to him, so ballpark, I'm not holding you to it, but ballpark, what's it going to cost me to make this property pretty? He says, $45,000. Now keep in mind, if you look at the video that we did, the before video, it has no kitchen. The place is a wreck. So I figured, okay, $45,000, $50,000. I bought it for $30,000, put $45,000, $50,000 into it. That's $880,000. With holding costs and closing costs and blah blah blah. I'm under $100,000. The ARV is $150,000, $160,000. I'm golden. I light my cigars with $20 bills. But things don't always work out that way. So I met with him last week for lunch. I said to him, hey buddy, let's take a look at the scope of work, and I see he's not his usual chipper, smiling self. I said, what's going down? What's the matter? He said, well, Rick, it looks like I priced everything out. I got my subs out there, and it's going to cost somewhat more, a tad more than the $45,000. I says, all right, I was prepared for 50. What is it, 51, 52? He says, no, 70. So after I stopped choking on my hamburger, I said, what am I going to do now? Well, here is what I'm going to do now, because you got to have an exit strategy. Luckily for me, the market's hot. I'm looking at what people are paying for REOs down there in similar condition, or maybe a little bit better than mine. So what I've decided to do, by the way, there's a lot of amateurs out there who are buying up these properties, don't know what the heck they're doing. They're going to lose money. If I can buy now at the right price, I will. I'll wait for the market to turn around, because it will, and then I'll buy up everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of stuff. Anyway, so a $45,000 rehab, nope. $70,000. So then I figured, well, if I bought it for $30,000, have $70,000 into it, that's $100K, and it's going to take 90 days to do the rehab, and then with permits from Willingboro, and so forth and so on, I'll be lucky to walk out of there with $25,000, $30,000 after a lot of heavy lifting. And it would be possible I wouldn't even put the house on the market until fall and the holidays. I don't want that. So what I'm doing is, I'm selling it as is. That's it. All I'm doing is fixing the garage door because you can't open it. And I already have an offer on it. Now remember, I bought it for $30,000. I have an offer on it for $42,500, but I have some investors looking at it. If I can get $55,000, $60,000 for it, I will take it, because it will be the same amount of money I'll make without the aggravation, without the heavy lifting. I will pay off the $30,000, which I use unsecured lines of credit. I'll put $20,000, $25,000, whatever, $30,000 in my pocket and be a happy man and move on to the next one. What's the moral of the story? It doesn't always work out the way you think it will, despite the fact that you're doing the right things. So, talk to you next time.